How are you? All right, so first thing we got to do. The first thing we need to do is measure out some clay. I didn't get it all done um, before you guys showed up. I had to finish doing some other stuff. So my clay comes in these big tubes. I kind of already pre-cut it a little bit just to make my life easier. And now what we're doing is measuring out. But can you not see me, Luna? I'm here. I'm always late. It takes like a little bit of time to start the video too. Hi. So we're starting the day a little bit differently. Um, I had to write out some stuff for a clay conference thing I'm on. So I kind of got a later morning than I was expecting, but we need to make all of this into this 275 grams, and then we can wander over to the wheel and actually start working. How you doing today, Luna? What's new? What's happening? What's going on? I'm doing all right. It's been a very kind of like hectic morning, trying to get a bunch of stuff organized for this magazine article that I'm in, and then this clay conference that I'm a part of, where people are going to have to they're coming here to fire with me in June. It's a lot more work than the amount of money that I'm going to be making from it, but that's okay. What kind of made it a little bit more hectic is that I have to go to a wedding like a couple days after, and like kind of in a pivotal point of the conference. So I can't go to I can have people come and fire my kiln. They've already signed up. They paid $650 or whatever to come fire with me. I don't know how much I get of that. It's not nearly that much, but that's okay. I was cutting wood. I had to cut a cord of wood for my firing. I don't know if you remember, but I don't have Wi-Fi or cellular pretty much anywhere else in my property unless I specifically set out and set up like extenders everywhere. And so as much as I would like to show everything else, it's just not very practical for me. But it took like 8 hours of moving and cutting and splitting, and I was outside all day yesterday, but yeah, I didn't have the energy. I was potentially going to come in here in the evening to work, and then I was just decided against it, and I went to bed. Sydney, what's up? What's going on? What's happening? Tell me everything. But yeah, once we get these all weighed out, we will start our production day. So last time we did 375 grams. Today we're going to be doing 275 grams, so 100 grams less. So it'll be quite a bit of everything. Because I find it's funny. I think it's hilarious. Everything. Oh my God. Let's hear it. Oh wait. Oh my God. I see what you're doing there. What's new though? What's happening? I think these are going to be closer to a Guinomi size, but to be honest, I don't really remember. It's been so long since I've been like producing single walled stuff. I actually don't quite remember how much clay makes how many milliliters anymore. I used to, but now that I do mostly double walled stuff, I know how much roughly, the interior of that of a double walled thing will hold, but not for these, which should be translatable because I'm just doing the interior section still, but for some reason in my brain it's not braining. You know what I mean? And so here's a fun kind of thing. Gotcha. What do you do for work again? Um, I know you can't see my face. We're not going to be here long. So I've talked about not wedging my clay. So like I just smushed in clay like that, and all I do is smush it into a ball. The only time I'll wedge clay is if it's like an amalgamation of like a bunch of different pieces, and then I'll deal with it. So we have one more block of these left. The thing is though, I think I'm gonna keep that block, this last piece, for double walled stuff maybe, or if we have anything else we want to make, because this is now, I bought a bag of clay from a student of mine, which is the only reason that we're in the studio today. Otherwise, I actually probably wouldn't have a live for you guys. But that's okay. What? What'd you get? I want to see. What is it? Were you talking about a butterfly the other day? I know Sharp was, but I feel like you were too. Aha, I knew it. Yes, that's right. That's right. Making the big bucks over there. Oh, God, I'm tired. So many ball making. We might have to do a little juggling before we actually start throwing, because we have all these balls. It's always like a fun temptation of mine, because they're like the perfect juggling ball size. Christina, of course I can juggle. I mean, come on. You looked at me. All right. Wait, hold on. We're gonna make all this gross stuff into the balls as well. Yeah. Hi. Oops. How are you? Welcome in. How is everything? So these ones I will wedge a little bit. Um, just because they're really gunky. But again, normally I don't, as you saw, wedge my stuff. Oh, did I weigh all of them now? I think this is the remaining clay. So I'm gonna take this last tube. Yeah, we're gonna do cups. So we made 375 gram cups the other day, and now we're gonna make, I feel like I'm gonna regret not just one hand these. Maybe we should just make these all little cups. Just get it done with. Just get as much production as we can. What do you guys think? I have never played Minecraft, no. Yeah, well, you know how it is. I had to move all the wood. I was busy. I moved a cord of wood by myself. I am a teacher, I suppose. I guess I teach. I teach people. I guess technically I am also a teacher. I forget that sometimes. All right, we're gonna do a little juggling sesh because we have to, because juggling is good for your brain. So you should all learn how to juggle. All right. I wish I could juggle more than three, but I don't have the interest in learning how to juggle more than three. But you can do the two-handed, one-handed things. Ah, all right. All right, let me just move everything over. gonna put another log in my fire before we actually start going, because it is warm out, but it is chilly in my studio. So, let's see. I need to turn a little bit of music on because I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't. Oh, and I was supposed to get that like voice to text thing. There was a bunch of stuff I was supposed to do, and I just didn't get it going. So let's just make these into cups. And then if we're feeling really good about these, then maybe we'll make more or do so. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not concerned. If you guys are not concerned, then I'm not concerned. You know. So let's bring you over to. It does feel on brand, right? Let's set you up on my little lamp real quick. I wasn't expecting to show you guys all that stuff because I thought I was going to be in here earlier, but as I was saying to Luna, I had a bunch of just gross paperwork stuff to do today, so I didn't get to it. Let me just throw this log in here real quick so my little dog is happy and comfy. I think I told you guys I finally got wood. I moved all the wood yesterday that I had. Okay, so I moved the small stuff in here, so I now have wood in here, which is awesome. You know. Thank you, Christina. All right, let me get some water. This is how I put water into my studio, in a nice clay bucket. Very exciting stuff. There's no water. I don't have running water. The fun thing about pottery is that you don't need hot water or clean water to clean things. It's like a kind of one of those things where you actually can clean anything with dirty water, and you're good to go, which is pretty sweet. So let me just do one more thing. I didn't get my computer set up even. I'm just all over the place today. There we go. I got tea, computer set up. Got all of our balls. Got water. Got tea. Gotta take this off so I can make little dog nice and warm and toasty. I'm drinking oolong. I'm out of pu'er. I'm out of black tea. So we're on to oolong today. This is a really, really poor quality tea Kuan Yin that someone gave me. But I like that it's kind of a worser quality because I don't mind having it as like studio tea. You know what I mean? So that's kind of nice. Okay, let's get going. I did not clean out all my little trimmings, as you can see. But we'll figure that out. If it becomes an issue, we'll deal with it. I'm not concerned. Oh, last thing. I'm just going to put on some lo-fi that hopefully will not demonetize me in the background. I think this will be a nice size cup, though. The 275 milliliter size is pretty solid. All right. Okay. You know what? Hold on. I take it back. We have to do one more thing. So I got all my trimmings. We're just going to put all these trimmings right into this water. And it's going to dissolve a little bit. And then we'll deal with the reclaim later. the sound is just going to drive me crazy if we try to actually work with that. So it does mean that that is going to turn to slip faster. So I will have to like change that out probably relatively soon. But that's all the trimmings from the cups that we made the other day. You drinking anything good today, Christina? Where is my sponge? You can tell that I was organized before coming in here. I I really had my act together for you guys, as you can see. So I think we're gonna do pretty much exactly the same thing that we were doing on Saturday, um, cup wise, style wise, and everything. The only difference is that they're 100 grams less, and so I think they'll be a really nice size. I I think I prefer this size cup over the cup size that we made the other day. What? What's up with that? Right? Little cups are where it's at, you know, but the only reason I was doing the other size too was just because it's nice to have variety. Mm, that sounds delicious. To be honest, I actually haven't been drinking as much tea recently either, but it's more because I'm trying to consume more water than I am tea. Just because I haven't, for whatever reason, been drinking enough water recently. Interestingly, these are not, the rims aren't undulating as much as the bigger ones, which is curious. They pretty much are the same thing, and the thing is, I just haven't been. So I've run out of puer, which means I haven't been drinking as much water in general. Because usually I drink like a crazy amount of puer every day, but I don't have any puer, so I've been uh, slightly dehydrated. Without glasses, is that what you think, Luna? I go back and forth. You know, it's hither and thither. Whatever I'm feeling that day. My head hurts or my eyes are sore, I usually go for the glasses. Yeah, that totally makes sense, Christina. Yeah, I wear contacts. I can't like work out or do anything um physical with glasses. It just feels really weird to me, so I usually wear contacts. And I also have like incredibly sensitive eyes because they're blue. So um yeah, my eyes aren't that bad. It's like negative 2.3 and 2.1. Yeah, Sydney, I feel ya. My eyesight's actually been getting better every year. Um, Things get blurry in about 3 or 4 feet, mm. But it's not like I'm not like crazy blind. It is a weird thing though. I don't know if you guys, anybody in here wears glasses and all that, but if you're nearsighted, um, after a certain distance, if they don't have glasses on, people's eyes just look like black holes. It's really scary looking, honestly. I'm not a I'm not a fan. Uh, Kind of terrifying. But I've had a lot of weird eye stuff. So when I was a kid, when I was like 4, I had the beginnings of a lazy eye in my left eye. Luckily, glasses it got caught pretty quickly, and I got glasses, and it got corrected. And then I had uh, a eye issue called, huh, I can't remember the name of the eye issue, but essentially when I would read something, my eye, when I would go down to look the next line, my eye would jot back up. And so I was having a really, really hard time reading when I was younger. And the cause the cure for it was to put pesticides in my eyes for 6 months, every twice a day for 6 months. And this is a weird story to say or whatever, but and it's just kind of a weird thing. But apparently, they found out about this pesticide working for clearing up this eye condition because they used to spray the pesticide in fields with slaves, and the slaves' eyesight were getting better. And so they pulled it and then prescribed, started charging for it, and then went to a different disgusting pesticide. Kind of a weird, the whole thing's kind of weird. I don't know. You wear glasses, Luna? Yeah, that totally makes sense to me, Christina. I can't remember what pesticide it was that was used, and I can't remember the name of the eye issue that I'm having at the had at the moment. Yeah, Luna, I feel ya. Luna, I want to hear more about your butterfly. What else about it? Is it realistic? It is like a watercolor? Is it big? Is it small? Where is it? I know this right here would be just like a totally fine cup. Like I could just stop. And I'm sure this honestly would be more popular than my undulating forms, to be honest, because it's like simple, it's pretty, it's whatever. Um, and like I could do this, but I'm never, whenever I do stuff like this, and then I get all the way through to the final stage, I'm just never happy with it. They do sell better. I have noticed that the more simple things I do tend to sell better, but I have no enjoyment out of them. And I would rather make less money and have more enjoyment out of my style than make more money and make things that I'm not like super psyched on. But yeah, but then going back to the pesticides and everything, I remember I was in fourth or fifth grade when we found out about this, and I was having just I could not read, I could not concentrate, and I could not do like anything in class. Um, and that was really the issue, and you know, all that stuff changed once it got fixed. I'm so psyched it was like a really quick fix. But right, exactly. Thank you, Sydney. Gotta do what makes you happy. And these ones are slightly different. I feel like these are almost like pedestal footed because of how we're trimming them. And so I feel like this is a slight take on the versions that we have been doing. That little piece of clay, I don't know if you just saw it fling off, but it just flew into my tea. So I'll be having a very tasty tea today. Exactly. Mineral enriched. It's realistic. Nice. Oh man, I wish, Raven. I'm out. I'm done. I need to order more, but here's the deal. I love Whispering Pines puer. but the tongs I used to buy were so much cheaper, and the tea, the same, if not better. And I used to pay $99 for 7 cakes of pu'er. And for that equivalency in loose leaf from him, it's gonna cost me like $260. And so like I just am like, I want to drink it, but I just can't do it. Oh yeah, very earthy, very tasty. Oh, also I'm gonna fire my kiln on the 29th. Very exciting stuff. Moved all the wood, like I said yesterday, which is why I wasn't live. I do, Luna. My entire back is a fish. Um, and I would fire a little bit sooner, but I'm waiting on a buddy to bring some stuff. We did, but the thing is that we did a trade, but um, the trade, because it's only like once a month or once ever firing or whatever. I haven't fired a kiln since December, right? So I haven't been able to trade anything. So I have had to buy tea for the last 2 months, and since it's been more expensive for the quantity that I'm getting, I'm burning through it faster, and so it's just not. Yeah, I know. Well, he ordered that custom teapot with a teapot lid, and that's going to cost him a pretty penny. So I'm actually waiting for that before I buy more tea, because that's going to be like $350 worth of tea for me. Puer is an acquired taste, and I've only ever liked puer from him. And I only like it steeped aggressively dark. Otherwise, it just tastes like fish water, and I don't actually understand how people drink it. Um, okay, well, let me make a few more polls. But yes, I'm firing my kiln on like the 29th. I went to look at some stuff. I need to buy new silicon carbide shelves. And so I went to Sheffield Pottery's website. A 12 by 24 by 3/4 inch silicon carbide shelf from Sheffield Pottery is $187 a shelf, and I need 4 of them. And I'm like, God damn, that's too much. I can't afford it. So I looked around, and Bailey's has half-inch shelves, silicon carbide half-inch shelves for $87 each. So after tax or whatever, it's going to be a little bit pricier, but that's fine. I called them today because they're about an hour and a half from me in Kingston, New York, and um, I called them up because I'm like, how much would it cost to ship them? It's going to cost $120 to ship it. So I think I'm going to just have to drive up to Bailey's, get some clay, get some of that, and then while I'm at it, I may as well. This is gonna be such a long day. It's gonna be like 5 hours of driving, but I'm gonna go up to Kingston, and then I'm gonna go back into Massachusetts to Sheffield, pick up 700, 800, 900 pounds of clay, and then drive back down and just do this 5 hour loop, which I really, really not excited to do, but I'm gonna save a lot of money. So, um, yes, good. I'm happy to hear it, Raven. What kind of green tea, Luna? All right, later. Gotcha. Yeah, old ripe puer is really good. Like I had a bunch from 2013. That was like my last little bits of cakes that I had from Brendan. They were so good. But that's okay. But yeah, silicon carbide shells. Geez, and then I don't know if you guys have looked at advancer prices. I've never. People always said they were expensive, so I never even bothered to look. It's like $250 before tax for one shelf. Wow, it's too much. It's too much. All right, bye, Luna. Why is this doing something I don't want to do? So anyway, I'm actually gonna maybe see if I can. Awesome, you should. Yeah. I I can't drink matcha on an empty stomach. That makes me ill. But every other tea seems to be fine, considering I don't generally eat things, and then I just supplement with tea throughout most of the day. I think these are going to be a nice size when they're done. You know, that shrinks 14.25%. Yeah, I need a good old swig of tea. This oolong is great as a studio tea. I definitely would not want to drink this like kung fu style. Mm. So, um, this firing I'm doing, I'm curious how it's going to go because, um, oh, I'll have to check. Um, this firing, I didn't, I so I cut the wood like I always do, but I left a bunch like larger chunks, um, and I'm really curious how that's going to change the firing. I'm hoping that my buddy who takes the first shift, I'm going to give him the bigger chunks because I don't know if you guys remember when we fired the last kiln, he fired it really quickly. Like we were done. Cone 11 was a puddle in 9 hours. I mean, it was stupid fast. Too fast, to be honest. Too fast for a lot of the glaze that I was using in there. They just didn't mature the way I wanted them to. It was great for my chinos, so I don't have any complaints with that. Oh, I spent 130 bucks on underglazes today. Uh, so I bought pink, orange, and purple, and a chartreuse because I think that could be very cool with the chino on top. Hmm. Pat, how are you? Chartreuse is like lime, like a really disgustingly, well, at least the way they're describing it is like a disgustingly green. And so like my, I always forget about that. I think it'll be like a really gross Jolly Rancher, like green apple color, you know? Yeah, it should be good. I have used it in the past and I was very underwhelmed by it, but it was because I didn't use it in conjunction with my Shino. So yeah, the image that they were describing was very or showed was very like um almost like a neon green. And I remember it being like that. I just remember it being really gross because I didn't have that Gustoncino on top. And that Gustoncino is what makes everything look like candy. So, Pat, what are you up to today? Anything fun? You know who has stuff similar to the color and all the time that I see is you guys know Justin Reese? He's been really doing a lot in the community. Um, somewhat recently, in the last like 2 years, I guess. He's been doing a lot of wood firings with a bunch of different people and kind of traveling and doing cool workshops. And he makes a bunch of these like very cool cutout. His little cups are nice. I have one, but I think where he excels is his like big vase cutout structural things. And he has like a green that is going to be what I assume very identical to the green that I'm putting out for this firing. I ordered new welding gloves for myself too. My kiln is not friendly, and so you go through about at least one pair, if not two, if you're not careful, of welding gloves per firing. It used to be you would always go through two, if not three pairs. Um, Back when I first built it, because for for reasons of I didn't have a firebox big enough, deep enough, and I used to pack the kiln differently, and so it would cause all these kind of issues. Yeah, I burn through the amount of like extra stuff that no one would think about unless you like own the kiln. And again, it's very specific to it. Like I can go fire someone else's like converted into borigama. You don't even see a flame in those kilns. Like you see it coming out the back, but mine's like a little scary. Mine has like a flame that comes at you. And so when you're loading in the kiln, if you're not confident and you don't have the right equipment, you're going to try to chuck it in and hurt yourself or hurt the kiln or hurt the work. And so, like with this email I was drafting up this morning, because I have 4 people coming in June, I was like, you need to buy good gear for this. Um, we can, swap stuff out. My gear is all crusty. I'd rather them have their own stuff. All my stuff is like drenched in soda ash and stuff, and so it's not very maneuverable anymore. So I'd rather they buy their own stuff. But Raven, you said goggles. You know what's better? I switched over to a green face mask a couple of years ago, and I will never go back to goggles. They are better. I will just say that right now. Um, yep, soda ash and sweat, and then you have to replace your vapor respirator filters pretty often. There's just a lot of fun stuff. I should have gone halvesies in the other day. When I said the other day, this was like 2 years ago, so I really didn't need to. I should have just, I'm realizing it now, and I will do this in the future because I'm saying this out loud to you guys. Someone was buying um, kiln shelves, and she was buying them in bulk, and she was like, "You want to go in on this, and so we can half the shipping cost and blah blah blah." And I wasn't ready to commit to buying, like $700 worth of new shelves that I didn't need at the moment, and I might not have had the money to just do that at that point too. Um, but that would have been a good investment for me at that point, and I regret it at this exact moment. But who would have, you live and you learn. I'm gonna quickly link something because I think anybody who fires a kiln should buy this. Any gas kiln, any wood kiln, I think this is so much better than um, goggles. And it's like, yeah, okay, it's $70, but I literally will never go back. And you can get different sizes, and if the parts of it break, you can just zip tie it on. You don't have to like buy a whole new thing. And I used a zip tie on mine for about a year before I committed and just bought a new one. But 100% that is a worthwhile purchase if you are firing a wood kiln or a soda kiln. It's also nice because if you want to take photos or videos and stuff like that, you can also put it just behind the mask. Um, exactly, Pat. And you know, you wear one of those Japanese headscarves, and then put the thing on top. Then your hair's not going to get messed up. You're not going to have any worry about anything burning. Um, your neck's not going to get burned. It covers the respirator too. So if like you're spraying in soda ash and you need to open up the top of the kiln, and my kiln again, it's really aggressive and it has a lot of heat coming out. It'll protect your face mask from also taking extra heat and melting. So um, I've burned a lot of things before, Christina. Um, the big one, even oh, that works out, Raven. That's a positive then. Um, the the big one that was getting me for a long time were I didn't have good leather chaps and my legs were frying. That was the issue. I couldn't get close enough to the kiln to actually load it. It wasn't even like my chest. I almost didn't need. I could have gone away with gloves, with no jacket, but I needed chaps. So now I wear a welding uh, skirt and a leather jacket, leather gloves, a Japanese headscarf, uh, my face shield, a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, right, Pat. It happens really quickly without you thinking. You know, good gear is really worth it. I mean, if you're gonna do it more than once. Luna, we were talking about you this entire time. How have you been? Right? It's worth. I mean, it's they're always hot and it's always worth it. Oh my God, I have a little bit of an addiction to making fires, and so most of my jackets, just in general, have holes in them. You know, like my two favorite jackets that Olive is currently sleeping under both have like holes all over them because I don't know. I have when the season accounts is possible. I'll probably have minimum one fire a day, at maximum like four or five. Um, I had a so I was moving wood for about 7 hours yesterday. I had a fire going for the entire 7 hours while I was moving it. I mean, I'm it's one of the few things that like really like relaxes me is fire, and so I generally have quite a few of them. They were only positive things, Luna. Don't you worry. Yeah, it works either way. Either option is valid. Yeah, I grew. You know, I my dad was really into fires, and so I've clearly learned he always has a fire going as well. So it's clearly like just a thing. Plus, I think it's a genetic thing because my aunt also is like this. Um, because I really like fire, Luna. I want to smooth this one out a little bit before we undulate it. Can you hear that? Yeah, my aunt who's a potter, she's like really into fire too. Yeah, you know, what's interesting though is that it's honestly fascinating to me how many potters I meet who don't like fire and are truly scared of it. Uh, um, and like, I don't know, I have a student, but he puts work in my kiln all the time, but he's never fired it. He's never stacked or put any wood in it at all because he's a little too nervous to do it. Um, and I meet a lot of people like that, and it's fascinating to me because it's like if electric firing was my only source of pottery. And I've said this a million times. I would not be a potter if I was just able to electric fire. A million times not. I would have given up years ago. This would have turned into something that feels very artistic and I can kind of just do to a job. Because I'd be doing production work, I'd be doing like restaurants, I'd probably be making a significantly larger amount of money. Oh, speaking of which, I did the math this morning while I was doing all this other stuff. Everything has to go up in price of mine. I can't, it can't stay low as it has been. Um, with everything else, I literally can't afford to live if it stays at the price that it is currently. It's not going to go up dramatically for the single walled stuff, and the double walled stuff will stay the same price as they have been. But Sharp, what's up? How are you? Interesting. Yeah, it's not everybody's scared. I didn't mean to make it like a big generalization, but I have noticed that most people won't even touch a torch. If I hand that to them, they're like freak out. So you tell me, Michael. Give it a try. Doesn't hurt though. Oh, I'm sorry, Sharp. Are you feeling better? How's your back? Yeah, there's so many cool parts to it. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Hmm, good. I'm glad the heating pad is helpful. Oh, heating pads. I bought a new heating pad the other day and I forgot about it until right this second. So I'm glad you said something because I want to sit on a heating pad myself. Okay, sounds good. Certainly seems to, Christina. Does it help in person? Probably not. It's not true either, but that's okay. I'm excited to hear his experience on the whole fact. All right. So something I am trying to avoid when I'm doing these is push down here at all, because I learned from doing some double walled ones the other day that I really like, and the single walled ones we did, that I really like the height, and I want these to almost be pedestaled, uh, almost goblet-esque, you know? What happens if I do this and I push on the opposing direction? Damn, that's a serious bruise. Holy moly. Uh, I hope it all feels better soon. Man, oh man. Something about the top of this one I really don't. I don't like this one. Why do I not like this one? That's from the IV? Oh man. I think I do have to go down on this guy. Also, that squealing in the background is a very delightful sound because I'm excited to have some hot water in my bucket. I think this one is going to get scrapped, but we'll figure it out later. All right, but first I'm gonna grab my hot water, pour it in here. Because you guys have never seen my hot water, here's my hot water container. Very exciting stuff. I bought the cheapest one I could find, and I don't like that thing. It's like too flimsy. The handle did not seem to be plastic when I bought it, and it is plastic. And so my old one was so much better, but it got a little too gunky for me. I do have this one too, which is actually also better. I like this little one a lot. This one's from like the 70s. But the problem is that you can only fill it up through the hole itself. And so it's a little just bit finicky to do, but it's a significantly better one. No, it's really nice out, but I have concrete floors in my studio here, and so it stays cold all the time, which is great for the summer, not so great for the winter. Well, I mean, it retains the heat, so like I just have to get it hot in here, and then I can open up the door. The big thing is that all the critters are out, and so little Olive is very excited to chase after everything. And so I'm also keeping it closed in here, which is making it take longer to warm up because she wants to go. She is she's a good tracker, really good at tracking things. She doesn't, if she catches something, she doesn't know what to do with it, which I appreciate. She literally she just puts it down immediately. She's a really good guard dog though, and so like if there are like hawks on the property or any big bird or bears or opossums or anything, she is going to get them off the property, and then once she gets them into the woods, she just comes back to me generally. But she is a Whippet Lab with Blackmouth Cur and Feist. At least that's what the DNA test said when I first got her. This is a completely off-topic conversation to anything we've ever talked about, I think. Oh, she's like ridiculously smart. Yeah. No one here has bought the iPhone 16e by chance, has they? Have they? I kind of doubt it, but I think that's gonna be my next phone, and I want someone to tell me that it's not horrible. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Sharp. Oh man. Their bunnies are fast. They're really hard to get out of places. Uh, right, Christina? Okay. Totally fair. You're new? Well, welcome. I'm gonna call you 123. It's a solid name. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. But also, I'm throwing these a little bit thinner, I mean, um, than I normally would, just because, again, um, I was getting complaints that they were too heavy. But again, I don't think people realize that I'm leaving weight intentionally in the very bottom so it seats into your hand. But whatever, I'm not going to argue. If people want things lighter and they're going to burn their hands, that's fine. That's totally fine. Morning. How are you? Gotcha. Wait, should I switch to Android? Dang. I haven't worked on your butterfly yet. I was thinking about doing it this morning, and then I got lost in doing emailing, and I had to text a bunch of people for different scheduling things for firings and blah blah blah. Um, no, generally, my brain just had a whatever. They do not. But in person, in locally, if I sell stuff, that is like a complaint. People will pick stuff up and be like, "Oh, so heavy," and they'll pick up like a massive cup that I don't even want there, or like a double walled piece that just is slightly on the heavier side, and it's like, come on, guys, like the walls are paper thin. I couldn't throw thinner if I wanted to on the walls. It would just there wouldn't be anything there after the shrinkage. I mean, you guys have seen the walls. There's nothing. They're yeah. So I don't know. Whatever. I'll make this stuff a little bit heavier on the bottom, and then um, see what happens. Thank you, Sharp. Yeah, I don't. It's more like in the sense of I'm using that suggestion as a way to go back. So years ago, my stuff was paper thin all the way around. And slowly over the years, I've kind of realized that I liked a little bit thicker bottoms on them. Um, but it is a nice way to remember to maybe go back in time every so often, and I can kind of just keep going, circling around what works and what doesn't work. And will I like these more? Potentially, I might. You know, who knows? I have no idea, Sharp. Garden. An RD blips? What's that? Well, I think that I am curious to make them thinner just for this batch if I like them more. I think it's nice to Luna. We keep talking about you. That's all we've been talking about the entire time you've been gone. Um, but I think it's good to just have a reminder of things. I don't think they're going to be like as paper thin as they used to be, but they are definitely going to be. All of these will be slightly lighter. What happened to my sponge? Did you guys see what I did with my sponge? Wait, actually, where is my sponge? Ah, it fell. Good. Ah, wasn't paying attention. Yeah, Sydney, right? It's kind of nice to have a thick base. I mean, my I always throw the bottoms of mine thick because I like the ability to trim. So I always leave like a half inch of clay down there, if not more. Um, but the I usually just leave it there though. I don't usually trim it out completely. Why are you angry, Luna? Only positive things. Beautiful words. I see, Carden. Gotcha. How you feeling? How's your head? Are you back to work? It's been a few days now. I just find it fun, Luna. And the more the more you don't like it, the more fun it is for me in this context here. Ah, yeah, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're feeling on the up and up. I may have screwed this one up. Is it weirdly only undulated on two? Well, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it only undulated on two sides. It went bleh, which, in a way is actually pretty cool. It wasn't what I meant to do. Uh, Thank you, Garden. Appreciate that. Going straight to the T fund. Oh, I also like I don't expect anybody to do this, but I did set up like a membership thing where we'll just do like live streams where we drink tea and get out of the studio and things like that. Because I want to keep the pottery to the pottery, and then I figured we can do like other stuff elsewhere if there's interest. But if not, then all good because it's whatever works for me. It sure is, Christina. Well, I did it because you asked for it, Garden. I know you wanted to go on a hike with me virtually, and so I set it up for that because I don't know how like shaky the hiking would be because again I don't really have service out here, so it's kind of hard to do anything. What would you eat if you did eat, Envy? I don't know, Luna, but it's more than two for me. Oh, nice. And I used to love bagels back when I used to eat wheat, but it's been a long time since I've eaten wheat. No, that's a lie. I ate a pretzel the other day. Yeah, Raven, I think that's about right. It was delicious, Christina. Thank you. I I've been eating them because I'm not getting enough salt in my diet, so I was eating pretzels just as a carrier for salt. I I really liked bagels, and I wouldn't. I used to eat like this is kind of ridiculous because it's all like fake versions of it, but like a good bagel with vegan cream cheese, vegan salmon, and a vegan egg on top, a little bit of scallions on top. I didn't really don't like eating food too much anymore, but man, oh man, I could eat a ton of those from the East Coast, Luna. I am starting to salt my food. The problem was that I forget to salt my food, and then sometimes I just don't eat because I forget. So and so I was buying pretzels just so like at least there's food I'm eating, which is probably good for me, and then um, on top of that it's salty. So and sometimes I get like the peanut butter filled ones too. Like this health store has like these organic peanut butter filled pretzels because then I get fat too, which I'm lacking. And then little dog can share them with me and be happy if they're not too salty. Or sometimes I just crack open the peanut butter for her. How old am I? I'm turning 33 in 6 days. And Christina's birthday is coming up in 5 days. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm curious when um, I I won't be called that, Raven. I'm not. I'm fine. I like it. It's fine. I'm fine with it. But it's like most of the people I fire with are like in their 70s. Um, and so like I'm the youngest. I was the youngest potter around here up until a couple of years ago. And so it's always like whatever. I don't know what the point of my story is here. What are you gonna do for your birthday, Gina? Thanks, Luna. I appreciate that. I'm going real old here. June 7th. That's coming up relatively soon. Why on the 29th of July? I have no idea. It's on the 29th of July. Is that your birthday? I can barely think about what's happening tomorrow. Months in advance from now. Oh, is it? Let me put my other headphone in. Maybe it'll make it better. Huh. Okay, one sec. Gotcha. Does that help with the audio? Is that a little better? A little worse? A little same, exact same thing? What are we feeling? What? Happy almost birthday, Raven? It is not, Luna. We do not share the same birthday. I don't believe you. Really? Okay. How about now? We still good? I might just take my headphones out completely and give that a try if this isn't working. I thought that was my cup. I was about to drink out of that. That's why I just grabbed that. Timo, what's up? Okay, what about now? Are we good? Is this better? If we just go on my phone audio? Yeah, if it isn't, maybe I'll restart the video if this doesn't work. I'm gonna start a new video. Let me restart it real quick. All right, give me 30 seconds to restart the video. That's weird.